Welcome to Team Effort. Today's topic is the great divide, front-end versus back-end, or why cats and dogs are really just different cute animals. Hi, I'm Morten from Hyperreactive. Today we're going to talk about what's sometimes coined the great divide, the chasm between front-end and back-end. We'll only briefly discuss the difference, but then we'll talk more about identification, polarizations, and team dynamics related to this chasm. If you're new here, please hit that subscribe button. And as always, you can read even more about this topic in the article linked in the description below, where you can also sign up for our newsletter. This time around, the article contains some great pointers for better team dynamics. Dividing people is natural. We see ourselves as belonging to certain groups and possessing certain traits, and thus defining us as those and not as those who don't have those same traits. You might see yourself as a smoker and then not one of those non-smokers. Or you're a dancer in opposition to those who hate to dance. Maybe you don't like sports and don't really get those sporty types. Most of these characteristics are harmless yet important to us as they define who we are and at the same time who we're not. Sometimes this leads to playful banter and rivalries, such as between Man U and Liverpool fans, or Star Trek versus Star Wars. It can also get hostile, but that's another story. In your team and in the company, you will also these divides naturally occur. Designers versus developers, production versus DevOps, your team versus the others, workers versus management, juniors versus seniors, and of course the age-old front-enders versus back-enders. Some of these identifiers are good and welcome in the team. You want your team members to identify with your own team and have a playful rivalry with the other teams. It builds cohesion and pride in the contributions and nurtures helpfulness inside the team. But some of these divides can also wreak havoc with the productivity and internal communication. The biggest sin of those is often the divide between front-end and back-end. Front-end is the one with all the nice colors, and back-end is the one with all the servers. Frontends can be websites, apps, or desktop applications, and backends can be servers, administration systems, databases, and all those things. For a variety of reasons, these two major sections of a codebase are often written in different languages and have very different concerns. And these two things combined spawn this divide. Frontends are often written in JavaScript or some flavor thereof, Objective-X, Swift, or Java, and backends are written in Python, C#, Ruby, PHP, or possibly Node. Front-end concerns include user experience, design, ease of use, quick interfaces, browser quirks, latency, etc. And back-end concerns include security, consistency, concurrency, data storage, hardware limits, and so on. This divide between especially the concerns can turn into frustrations, especially when the concerns don't align. You might have a backend dev add a new error code to the login, not understanding the implications this will have for the front-end code, UX, client approval, etc., and not understand why a new error is a big problem. Or you might have a front-ender ask the backend deliver a lot of data in a single request, not understanding why the backend can't easily and in particular quickly gather all that data across different systems. So, how do we solve this? How do we mediate these conflicts as they occur? And even better, how do we stop them from occurring at all? First off, don't make silos in your organization. Don't split front-end and back-end in different teams. And similarly for designers, UXers, and DevOps. Rather, and luckily most companies already do this, create vertical teams with a mix of diverse roles in each team. Some contention can still occur, but this definitely limits a lot of the friction. When you're working together towards a common goal in a small group of people, you can't but align your short-term goals to achieve your long-term vision. Another important thing is to shut down any kind of toxic behavior or talk between the different groups. For instance, a backender start talking about those silly front-enders and their pixels and their colors. Junior developers will pick up on this, and this goes in both directions. Always show respect for your colleagues and pass this on to new hires. This brings me to the question of the day. What does your team do to avoid this toxic divide between front-end and back-end? Please give your answer in a comment below and feel free to tag it like this. Finally, remember to like and subscribe for more content like this. We'll be posting new content every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, so make sure to stay updated. When you follow the link below to the in-depth article, you can also sign up for our newsletter on all things relevant for modern web development teams. Keep coding, and thanks for watching.